Welcome back. It is 7:39. The flu outbreak that's hit North Texas hard has caused Methodist Dallas Medical Center to turn away some patients. Last night, non-emergency patients were being sent to other hospitals or urgent care facilities or told just to wait to see their doctor till today. The hospital says it needs to care for real emergencies, and there are just so many people with the flu. Texas suffering through one of its worst flu outbreaks in decades. Joining us this morning is Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins, who is the interim spokesperson for the Dallas County Health and Human Services Department. I mean, that hospital, that's one. I've heard from several doctors, urgent care centers. It seems like they're just so overwhelmed with the number of people who have the flu right now or think they have the flu.
A lot of people sick right now. We had 572 hospitalizations just last week.
572 people in the hospital, so it's that bad that they would need to have some hospital care then. And I've heard that because kids are now heading back into school, some went back to school last week, some heading back to school this week, that number is expected to grow.
Yeah, we're just entering into this peak season that usually lasts 12 to 15 weeks.
Okay.
And so it's not too late to get vaccinated. That's a key thing. The vaccine is probably only 30 to 60% effective,
okay,
but it's a dead virus. It can't give you the flu. What it can do is either stop you from getting it or make it less mild or less severe when you get it. So get that vaccine, and it's free at Dallas County Health and Human Services. If you want to come on down to Dallas County Health and Human Services on Stemmons, it's free.
Okay.
And there's a lot of other places to get the vaccine.
We'll put a link with all the details on
Great.
that for those that do want to do that. We have a graph that we can pull up from Children's Health in Dallas, and basically it kind of looks at this year compared to other years. We saw a spike in late November, a peak in late December. So it definitely looks like we started the flu season a little earlier than in times past. I guess it's hard to tell what's going to happen from here on out, but why do you think it's so bad this year?
Well, some years are worse than others. This is the H3N2 strain, so it's a more severe strain.
Okay.
It's the same strain we had last year, but it seems to be hitting us with a lot bigger outbreak this year. Now, if you get the flu, we talked about the vaccine, but if you get the flu, we want you to stay home from work and school.
Or if you think you have the flu.
Yeah, stay home from work and school. And antivirals like Tamiflu can be very helpful. They're most helpful in the first 48 hours,
okay,
but they're even still a little helpful a couple of days after that. So that's a real thing that the CDC and Dallas County Health and Human Services are pushing, particularly for people under 5, over 65,
okay,
or with a serious underlying health condition like diabetes or asthma.
Okay, you mentioned Tamiflu. I know at JPS in Fort Worth they were having some trouble keeping the number of Tamiflu, that they were giving to people. They were making sure that they had enough. Are there any concerns about a shortage? We also talked about earlier on Good Day that IV, that the bags that they put the IV in, that there was a shortage in that in some areas. Have you heard about any shortages or anything?
So those are supply chain concerns, but there's ample amount of Tamiflu,
okay,
and NAA type drugs in the United States. So your pharmacy may run out, but they can just order another shipment. You don't need a positive flu test for your doctor to prescribe those if your doctor believes that you have a high likelihood of having the flu.
I've heard that there are a lot of doctors where you just go in there and they look at you and go, I'm just going to get you the Tamiflu. They don't even bother doing the flu testing right now.
Well, it can hurt and it can help.
Right.
And so that's why the CDC and we are now saying for people who can get access to it to use that Tamiflu.
Closing schools. I know in years past when there's been something, an outbreak of sorts, that they would then, you guys would look at going and closing schools. How bad does it have to get before something like that happens?
Really bad, but here's the thing. It's the first, second week now in January. These usually peak in February, so we may be in for this getting a lot worse before it gets better. That's why it's not too late to get vaccinated if you hadn't already.
Yeah, you might want to do that if you haven't. Yeah. Thank you so much for being in here and providing the insight. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And we will put a link with more details about where you can get that free flu shot as well from Dallas County. It is